Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design, and welcome also to the series called What's in My Bookcase. And this is part 2 of my art books. So let's begin. Again, I'm trying to keep the videos shorter. This one is a little paperback, excuse me, on Van Gogh. You can see there's some water damage. Clearly I bought this used. 1961. So the paper is matte, which is nice. The reproduction of his paintings, you know, irises and the sunflower and the room and so on, are Starry Night, of course, are all a size that would lend themselves well to be self-portrait, would lend themselves well to being pockets or tuck spots or, you know, similar. Now, I should, you know, full disclosure, tell you I haven't looked through some of these books for literally years. So this is as much a refresher for me as it is a first time. So basically the images begin here. So about half the book is imagery. See, I wouldn't have known that that this was one of his. But because I guess maybe early in his career, let's see, page 37, so 1882. How late is the latest? 1890. Mind you, he didn't live very long, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Van Gogh. Matisse. Another soft cover book, 1979. So, again, a lot of, you know, I wanted to say, oh, list of illustrations. I wanted to say annotations, but, and here's a lifeline, born in 1869. So, again, maybe this is not necessarily my cup of tea, but certainly there are some that, I mean, a lot of these are familiar and popular. A lot of nudes. A lot of black and white in here as well. Yeah, I don't know that I would really be inclined to use many of these. But clearly he was important for his contribution to the world of art. Pointillism. Okay. I wonder if there's anything in here. This might, I also, on this shelf, I also, sorry, I should show you the cover. Portrait of an Artist, biography of George O'Keeffe. 16 pages of photographs. So it looks like it's going to be photographs. On this same, these books were sharing a shelf with some biographies and autobiographies, not necessarily of artists. Oh, see, some of these photos are lovely. 1908. These are her sisters. So that's Georgia herself. Can you imagine if you could say to somebody, oh yeah, George O'Keeffe was my instructor. Or, yeah, I studied with Picasso. This one is kind of cute. Let's see what the cover looks like. So it's sort of this plummy color. Emily Carr and her dogs, Flirt, Punk, and Lulu. So it is kind of cute in that in the book, apparently she raised Old English bobtail sheepdogs. And I guess especially these illustrations concentrate on 3 of the ones that she had. Now, she was, of course, a famous Canadian artist and writer. She died in 1945. There she is with some of her dogs, but let's see some of the sweet illustrations. So some of it has some printing, you know, sort of a la Edith Holden, that kind of thing. It's probably one of those books that I bought based on the cover. Cute. Cute, cute. Okay, this one is a pocket how to do it. Simple pottery, how to make pottery without a wheel. And obviously it had been a library book, copyright 1966. So if you've seen these sorts of books before, you know that usually the illustrations are pretty, or the photographs are pretty poor because they're black and white. And I'm sure that techniques and tools and everything have really improved over time. However, I must have thought at one point that I was going to become a famous potter, or at least try to make an ashtray or something. Again, this is probably one of those books that I've been holding on to for too long, and it's time to take it apart and use the components and, you know, move on with my life. Okay, keep going here. Roman art, 114 full-color illustrations. Hardcover, looks to be in mint condition. Don't remember buying this. Oh, slick paper, 1972. That would be nice, fussy cut. Did you know that I have a digital kit called, was it Grecian or Roman sculptures, and one on cameos as well, from an old book of mine. So it's got, you know, a combination of statuary and vessels and what else? Yeah, some of these would be good. You know, fussy cut. I could see that being used quite nicely in a an art journal spread. I might have to set this one aside and just begin doing that because, again, some of these things aren't doing me any good just sitting and forgotten in these books. Yeah, busts and... Yeah, cool. The paper is a fairly heavy weight. It does have a bit of a gloss to it, though. And here, of course, is, you know, architecture as well. Painting on wood, 1st century AD. 1st century AD. Yeah, kind of a treasure trove of course, David. Oh, no, Augustus. David is the one that's... it's not David, let's just put it that way. I did, on a trip to Italy, a long time ago, get to see some of those, like the Sistine Chapel and American Art, 87 full-color illustrations. Oh, this is the same publisher, Octopus Books. I doubt that they still exist, but anyway. So, similar. I wonder if I have more of them. Let's make sure that you guys can see something. 1972. Sorry. Some of these things do not really have a place in anything that I would be doing. But that doesn't mean they can't be ripped up for collage or something. This seems kind of decidedly darker. Portraiture is good. Okay, enough about that. Okay, the rest of these books are all bigger, but I think my camera's high enough that it should not hit anything. Okay, I didn't realize that this was a Reader's Digest book. Easy Acrylics. 2006. Lovely sunflowers. Okay, maybe if I stay put here, you'll be able to see most of each page. So a lot of, photographs showing various stages of certain works. Very much an instructional book. So sometimes there's value in the stages, and other times maybe a person will have the most use for the finished piece. Someday I should bring up a painting that I did, acrylic on canvas, of peppers. It really is one of my favorites. These things, some of these would certainly lend themselves well for, lend themselves to collage. Okay, I would have bought this one when we were at the Vatican. I had gone as a chaperone when my daughter's school was going on. You're not going to be able to see the whole thing, so I'll just show you two halves. Back cover fold out. Yeah, chaperone on a school trip to Italy and Greece. You're not allowed to, or wait, I can't remember. You're not allowed to take photos, or you're allowed, but you can't use flash photography because, of course, they're trying to protect the integrity of the art. Yeah, so sometimes it's easier to buy the book than to try to, that has been professionally photographed, than to try to get a, an inadequate photo of one's own. Cool. Okay, group of 7. I've mentioned them before. Famous Canadian artists. Meet the Group of 7. So this looks like it might be almost like a kid type book. Here are the guys. Well, that certainly looks like more than 7. Lauren Harris is one of the big ones. Lismer. So you want to own a group of 7 painting. I wonder what year this was done. Very, very distinctive brush strokes. Yeah, this is kind of a primer. Most of them focused on landscape. Some American, was it? Oh, no, I'm going to forget his name. Oh, my goodness. Steve Martin. I think it was Steve Martin that fell in love with the group of 7, or their work, and actually arranged for a traveling exhibit somewhere into the States. Metropolitan Museum of Art, masterpieces. So this one, 1993. Oh my goodness, sorry about this. Let's start at the back and do the old flipperuno. Huh. I guess that's a gown on a mannequin. It's being considered one of the masterpieces, so it's not necessarily paintings that we're looking at here. Jackson Pollock, 1950. So again, you know, a person can find probably in, I think a lot of these coffee table books are now, you know, as people are sort of downsizing or whatever, I think a lot of them are ending up in secondhand stores where they can be picked up fairly reasonably. Scary to think what some of these would have cost when they were brand new. And this looks familiar. Still Life, James Peale. Yeah, so a person can, you know, probably get their hands on some pretty nice art books for, you know, a reasonable cost. You know, and that's kind of what the goal is, especially if a person is Nepalese, 9th to 10th century, second half of the 11th century. Yeah, these, I can see these looking just gorgeous in an art journal. Oh, they kind of have they divided the world by continents? That says Asia. Well, it's a combination of things. It looks like by time periods and then by continents. I have 2 more to go, so I should kind of speed it up here a bit. A well-placed fig leaf. Tapestry. Turkish prayer rug. Iranian carpet. Isn't that beautiful? A prayer niche. Oh yeah, you could, well, can you see that? It's sort of indented there. What is the size? Oh, 11 feet 3 inches by 7 feet 6 inches. Lovely. Mosaic tile work and variegated inscriptions. Huh. Beautiful. There, a unicorn. Fair amount of religious art. Beautiful. Okay, this is a big book. Group of Seven and Tom Thompson. Love this color. So this is sort of what I'm saying as being very recognizable. So Tom Thompson has almost looked like these branches, like they've been kind of outlined in red almost. It almost looks like a tapestry, to be honest. Very distinctive brush strokes. Oh, here they talk about the founding members. So I guess like most other clubs, people come and go. Oh, for heaven's sakes, let's get to some of the goodies. I know that you won't be able to see everything. Group of Seven catalog covers. See, these sort of very cool themed, cool colors with, what do you call them? Ice flows and that sort of thing. Very distinctive as well. And these guys spent a fair bit of time, you know, painting in situ. Icebergs. Lauren Harris, 1930. That was when the world still had ice. Okay, Canadian Arctic. Any buildings tend to be fairly, you know, primitive almost. I don't know how well, and again, I guess that's a shortcoming of mine, don't know how well received any of these guys were, or their work was, during their lifetimes, or if it was one of those things that, you know, become more valuable once the guy's gone. Boy, icy blue, eh? Person should make it a habit to, does this make you feel cooler if you're experiencing 100+ degree temperatures? Oh, Northern Lights. I broke my train of thought there. Oh, I was going to say a person should just sit down with some of these books just for the visual feast that they are, even if they never get taken apart and used in any paper project or, oh, I like that one too. Frozen Lake, A.Y. Jackson. Anyway, I should keep moving along here. I like that red house. 1925, Lauren Harris. Oh, some portraiture. Stephen Leacock, famous humorist. That's a fairly recognizable. Oh, and this one too, a person sees over and over again. Tangled Garden. Be interesting to know if their work is in the public domain. Whoops. Okay, last one. F.S. Colburn, Beyond the Landscape. Plain cover. Did I look at this one? Just this last one, a group of 7, dark gray with sort of a coppery metallic title. 1930. Did he like a lot of teams of horses? Nudes. Are there horses in every single one? Okay, here are some ladies. Can't say I know anything about this person. Not really giving, oh yes, some 1930s. He seemed to love the, okay, so this is, he's probably Canadian. Seems to love snow and horses. Oh, here are some oxen. I should actually do a little bit of homework and see who this guy really is. Very private man whose personal life remains unfamiliar to the general public. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Colburn's heirs, safeguarding the whole, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it looks like he grew or lived, whatever, in Quebec. Cool. That concludes my my video for today. I think I have probably 1 or 2 more days or Sundays of art books, and then I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to have a good look around and see if there's anything that, you know, that I think will be of interest to you that I have missed. Like I do have, you know, a lot of old books as well, but again, unless they're illustrated, it's basically just looking at nice paper, and I don't know how compelling that is for anybody. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope that this maybe has, you know, informed you or entertained you in some way, and that you're more likely to keep an eye peeled for these sorts of books when you are out and about shopping and hoping to add to your library. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.